down. Closing public comment. It's a fine line we walk in public comment periods on how much restriction we have on the free speech. I know that there are people who become restive or unhappy when they're asked to identify themselves during this public comment period. And then there are those who will defend that position, and then there are those who say that we need to be certain to identify each person. I frankly like the idea of having a caveat that our report of the public comment note that these are not exact statements but are summaries, because we don't really make an attempt to record or to write down statements verbatim like we do in a public hearing. So that's certainly something I think we can look at.
I think it's always a good idea to direct people where they can find the accurate information.
Yeah. It is recorded. We do have a BOCC goals that were hammered out last year, and I don't think we put a ending date on those goals.
I would anticipate at some point this year we'll probably be revisiting them and updating them, but yes, there's still good guidelines. We have a mission statement and strategy statement, multi-year strategy statement that does guide us, and it contains a number of items along the lines of what you were suggesting, John.
Any other comments or responses?
Yeah, I'm going to mention that. Also, appreciated Tom's comments about GEFCOM and the Joint Economic Development Strategy. I think even the illustration that he brought up about the airport illustrates what this group is about. It's about communication. And it's important to keep communication open. We thought in that case that many people in city government were much more aware of what was going on because of prior agreements and other things than they evidently were. So, this will be a good thing to communicate better, but I tend to agree we do need to be accountable and watch those issues. When it comes to the consent agenda, probably the GEFCOM thing anyway. That's not on the consent agenda. No, that's on the other parts. Yeah, we want to talk about that more. I think Jim's gone. I'll talk to him privately, I guess, next time I see him around, but...
we have to respond pretty quickly before he...
Yeah, he got out of here quick, so... but Joe, it can hire some people for, some places, so... let people know that, I don't know if you are hiring, but...
We are hiring.
Okay, good. Free advertisement.
There you go.
Yeah, by the way, in the bus, at least in one of our buses, there's a large poster noting how people can be hired, and one of the businesses that hires is Security Services. So everyone who rides a bus is reminded that Security Services has reached out to the community that way.
And responding to Jim's comments as far as businesses on Water Street, I'm getting nervous about Water Street. Ancestral Spirits is closing down. And,
Okay.
was that,
I have-
they didn't mention anything about it, they just brought it up, had champagne the last night, December 31st. It's just, the Imprint bookstore, maybe, I'm hearing is going to close. It's getting spooky up there.
Yeah, some are personal reasons, people I know,
Yeah.
but
It still leaves
it's
a
the
vacant,
economy.
it still leaves a vacant Water Street.
Yeah, I did Christmas shopping on Water Street and found good, quality, reasonable items for my grandkids and kids and spouse. That new toy store, it's got some great selections, and you're getting larger. You can get the models there now. Got some.
That one little Max Grover's in the back.
Yeah, well, no, that's another one. It's a different one.
Okay.
Max Grover's place has a lot of choices too. I'm talking about the toy store that's down near Personalize It.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, by Finn's.
Well, the good news is there are some businesses coming in as well.
We do have a consent agenda. Is there a motion to pass that?
Yeah, I'll move the consent agenda.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay, it's moved and seconded that we adopt the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye.
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 Unanimous. On the homeless situation, I volunteered for the midnight to 8 o'clock shift at the shelter at the American Legion. And there's been a tremendous amount of work down there in the basement. A lot of it pro bono and sweat equity. And the shelter was full. With folks who were very grateful that it's there. That was a very nice breakfast that was served. But obviously, a shelter, no matter how nice it is and attentive the volunteers are, is not the ideal place to sleep. You hear noises, lights, people are not in their own home. And I was thinking, it was raining on Thursday night, last Thursday. It was raining, and in fact, shelter wasn't there. There would have been almost 30 guys out in the woods or the parks, or just getting soaked. So it's good that it's there.
And they've got other options for women in shelter.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, they're using Haines Street, I believe. On a brighter note, I saw the county administrator after the first night celebration that's been put on, I think with great success by the Historical Society. Great fireworks this year. Singing by songlines and the crusty minstrels.
Yeah, the old restaurant.
The old crusty minstrels, they sound like the Kingston Trio. A lot of the people my age and up were singing along. Younger people tolerated it. It's kind of a bright spot.
Pretty low-key week for me. Actually, the week between Christmas and Thanksgiving tends to be one of the least busy weeks of the year for us. And everybody, as it should be, I think. Got a break there. But did go to the end of the port meeting, their last meeting of the year, and the reception. I saw John there, for John Collins, and thanking him for his work. appreciated that. Johnson real good job.
Been a good partner.
And, let's see, what else did I want to bring up? Oh, on Friday, we've got the new ferry, Kennewick, and I'll be going to that too.
Yeah, I'm going.
Good to have all three of them in there. That's been a lot of effort and a lot of support from a lot of partners, a lot of our neighbors, neighboring counties, neighboring legislative districts. So that's been a great effort. It's great to see that, come to fruition, because that was one of the challenges for downtown, which you mentioned here, was having the ferry service go away and recovering from that. And a big piece of that has been getting the three ferries back online, so that we have backup boats, and have consistent service, and it has been more consistent. They tolerate much more severe weather than the old Bob did. Appreciate Pierce County's support of that, but that boat got canceled quite a bit in bad weather. These are handling it pretty well. We've got one of the more challenging routes in the whole system, but, in terms of tides and winds and whatnot, but these boats are handling it pretty well. So be there to appreciate that.
You still have O3A?
Yep, we'll be doing that on Thursday. That'll be a conference call, and I will be the regional chair again this year. With that, it's actually, everything's going pretty well, but looking at what happens with state and federal budgets, how that affects seniors. So maybe adjustments along the way. It's one of those mini budgets that you've done, and then you're doing it with the mind. We may have to change this within a few months into the year. We'll see. And then that affects other groups like OLECAP and others down the line. So keep your praise in that.
Yeah, it certainly does. When OLECAP has lost, looks like about 25% of their staff, or?
They've cut almost 50 people this year.
Yeah.
So it went down from, I know for sure statement, it was about a fifth of them.
Yeah.
So it's got some real challenges, and you have to keep you appraised of those. We're working on getting a line of credit renewed, allow them to continue to make changes. They made a lot of changes in their programs, and continue to do that. So we'll have to see how it goes financially for them. It's been a real challenge. We need new board members right now. Had a couple of resignations recently, due to personal reasons primarily, and we have a setup. We can have up to 20 board members, and I think about a third of them are government officials. But we could use some people with financial experience, board experience, organizational development, because there's a lot of change going on right now. Financial experience, legal. So I'm hoping that we'll get the call out real soon, because other people are ready to step up, because it's a real challenging time for those social services. If we don't organize those through OLECAP, it'll be a matter of the community having to have a conversation and organize them differently, and I think that'd be pretty disruptive to change that. It's better to fix some of the problems we've got. So I'll let you know. We'll probably usually have meetings that are like the last Tuesday of the month, and we're probably going to have one sooner than that this year, because our December meeting was moved up to early December, so I think that's going to be too long of a wait considering all the challenges. So I've asked them to schedule another one, but if it's not scheduled yet, I'll let you know.
24th then would be, unless you did move it up. We have some proclamations.